GlitchxCity appeared, and today for you, I am here to talk to you guys about my thoughts on Voltron Season 5. So yeah, it's finally here, it is upon us, let's talk about it. Actually, before I talk about it, I will say, just in case, that yes, there will be spoilers. There's going to be so many spoilers in this one video. So if you have not seen Season 5 yet, I'd highly recommend go watch it, then come back here and all of us can have a good discussion about it. Anywho, yes, let's get on with it. Oh my god, guys. Season 5, guys. Season 5 was so good. Like, oh my god, it was so good. And it was such a freaking roller coaster of a freaking season. Oh my god, it was just so good. But yeah, so many things happened that I just feel like I'm just gonna try my best to, you know, not talk over too much about certain things and get to the stuff I really want to talk about. The first thing that I want to talk about is Lotor. I want to talk about Lotor because, guys, I am so conflicted. I don't know how to feel about Lotor right now. Like, this whole, like, in this season, we see him, like, he seems so different from what, like, he's been in, like, the previous seasons. Like, I don't know how to process it. Like, yeah, so as we've seen, Lotor has been helping the paladins get information about like Garo bases and that, and then he tells them about information about a prisoner that they'd be really interested in. And yeah, Lotor, my god, Lotor has been, I just, like, I've seen a lot more people thinking that he is a good guy, but, no, there's just something, like, there's just something about Lotor that I can't trust. I don't know what it is, but I do not trust this man. I do not think that the Paladins should have trusted him as they did, because, oh my god, this season, my god. Like, also, like, the whole thing between, like, Lotor and Alora, that was a thing. We also learned that Lotor and Alora did not know each other as kids, as that would be impossible, because from what we've seen, Lotor was born sort of like after Hagar, well, after Minerva kind of went cuckoo, and also like Zarkon was cuckoo. So I'm a bit confused exactly how that happened. Like, when did Minerva get pregnant with Lotor? Was it before the whole crazy thing happened? Like, I'm still so confused that I don't know how to feel about it. But yeah, so yeah, I think it would have been interesting if they had that Lotor and Alora knew each other from a young age, but whatever. It's still interesting how, like, those two came together this season. I've seen a lot of people ship them now, like a lot of more people shipping them. Me, I'm not too sure about it, again, because I do not trust Lotor, but oh my god, like, that whole thing was a trip and a half. Basically, Lotor ends up killing Zarkon, and basically Lotor becomes the new emperor and all, but I don't know how to feel. Like, is him being on the Galra throne a good idea? I don't know. I still have some feelings about that, but yeah. And also, is Zarkon really dead? Like, really? Like, did anyone else be like, that was a little too easy? Like, is he dead? Like, that dude has died like multiple times. And yet, now he's dead? Really? I kind of always thought that, you know, Zarkon would die via, like, Voltron's hands, but that's just me. Because I feel like if now Zarkon's gone, it's kind of like, okay, we kind of still need a big bad. So that's what makes me kind of think that Lotor will inevitably betray the Paladins. Because we still kind of need to have a bad guy, guys. Like, it's a show about good versus evil. We need to kind of have something. But, yeah. So that's the thing that happened. Okay, so that's enough about my thoughts on Lotor. Alright, let's talk about Pidge. Pidge, oh my god, this season Paige, my girl, I love her so much. She finally gets what she wanted. Oh my god, I'm so happy for her. I did not think that we would get Sam Holt this early on. I thought that maybe there'd be a few more seasons before we find her dad, but nope. Lotor knew exactly where her dad was and was like, yo, here you go. But of course then they went to the base thing and found out that their dad wasn't there. When Matt goes into the cells looking for his father, I noticed that it kind of sort of like shows a shot of the last cell he's about to check. He opens it up, you see Matt's face, but then it just cuts away and I'm just like, that was odd. Did Matt see someone? Like, I just feel like that would have been kind of pointless just to show that, like, it could have just been like, oh no, there's nobody here at all. But no, they kind of just went off, and then, like, Matt was really upset and he was very, very snappy. So I'm just like, because when I first saw this, I thought it was like, did Matt actually find his father? But his dad was like, I don't want to go and like nowhere. But then obviously we know that no, that wasn't the case, but there's something I feel like that someone was in that cell. I've seen other people kind of think that too. People might think that that's Shiro, but I doubt that would be real Shiro. That's just me. I also feel like if that was the real Shiro, then Matt would have acted a bit more weird towards like Corone, like the clone Shiro. So yeah, I do not think that he saw the real Shiro, but I think he did see someone that he knows. And maybe it was a friend that he made in the Rebels and he just was like annoyed with them because he didn't want to go. Again, it's confusing, but yeah, I do feel like there's something there. But then obviously, like, once they did that whole, like, oh my god, I'm glad freaking Zarkon got stabbed. Because honestly, like, as soon as we learned that it was a hologram and not the real Sam, I was like, ooh, Zarkon's gonna die. But even though I kind of thought maybe it would have something to do with Paige, but nope, it was Lotor, but still. Yeah, so obviously we have all that, and then we finally get that reunion with them all, and of course, I got a bit confused. Like, it's weird, because I know Paige's real name is Katie, and of course, my name is Katie, so hearing Sam say Katie is a bit like, it's weird, like when you watch a show with a character with your name, it's strange. If you guys know what I mean, like if you're watching a show that a character has the same name as you, do you get this way too? I don't know, just me. But yeah, so all that it happened, and yeah, and of course we learned that later that Sam wants to go home, and he thought that maybe Paige and Matt would go with him, but they were like, no, we kind of need to stay up here because we still have a lot of work to do, which again, yes, that makes a lot of sense. But yeah, so that happened, and yeah, but again, I'm so glad for Paige that she finally found her family. Her arc is kind of done now. I don't know if we're going to get more of Paige, like what kind of storyline we can go with Paige now, that maybe she opens up more, but who knows, we'll see. But yeah, so that's my thing about Paige. Okay, next who I want to talk about is Lance. My boy Lance. So he got quite a lot this season, and I'm really, really glad for that because, again, I love the boy, and he deserved some character development, which I'm really glad that he did. And oh my god, this season, like, Lance was showing more of a leadership role, which I really, really liked, and he has a sword now, which is, I don't exactly know how to feel about it, but it's there, even though it's kind of like, but you're the sharpshooter, and swords are like Keith's thing. The fact that Lance has an Altean like broadsword makes it interesting. Also the fact that Alora stated that her father used the exact same sword, and it was like, okay, that's interesting. But I think my whole like theory is thinking that Lance is the one that's going to figure out about fake Shiro. I think that's now very, very possible because Lance is now came very, like, he kind of looks very suspicious of Shiro of late. And, like, see when, like, they're all in that sort of mindscape kind of thing, like, when they use all the Bayards, and then at one, it's like everyone's, like, standing on their own, like, circle, but we don't see Shiro, and everyone was like, yo, where's Shiro? And then, of course, then Shiro does appear, and then they're like, oh, yay, and then, of course, they use this power thing, and then everyone like disappears one by one, and then like Lance is the last one standing, and then like Lance looks over to Shiro, and Shiro's like, he said along the lines of, Lance, listen to me, and of course Lance was like, what? And then of course Lance disappears, and I think obviously Lance didn't hear exactly what Shiro had to say, but me, like, I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say, that was real Shiro talking to Lance, that was real Shiro trying to tell Lance, going, Lance, I have something to tell you. That is not me. That person that's with you right now is not me. I'm in the astral plane. Yo, that's not me. How the heck do you think that was me? But, yeah. So I do believe that Lance was talking to the real Shiro, and so, like, yeah, and of course that makes Lance a bit, because Lance did go to, obviously, Corone and was like, what were you trying to tell me in the Mindscape? And he's just like, I don't remember anything that happened. Like, that Shiro was so confused at what happened, but yeah. Like, oh my god, see that scene where all of them are basically... Like, see that scene where all of them are saying goodbye to Sam and he's about to leave in the ship, and Hunk gives him, like, the recordings of, like, messages for their families? My god, like, that whole thing, because Hunk automatically assumed that Lance's message would be for a girl that he likes back down on Earth, but I think the message that Lance had was for his family, because as we see, he misses his family so much that he was crying just thinking about Earth and just having these messages. And obviously we learn the names of the siblings, we know that he has a mom, he's got a grandma, but things are, he never mentioned his dad, which was a bit strange. Maybe just me, I don't know if maybe his relationship with his dad is rocky, I'm not too sure, but he didn't really mention his dad. But yeah, but we see him, and of course he's getting really upset about it, and Hunk's like, are you crying? And he's like, no, it's just a bunch of space dust. And I'm just like, why are you not talking about Hunk about this? Like, Hunk is your best friend, Lance. Like, I feel like you, out of everybody, Hunk would understand, because he has admitted he misses his family too, so I don't know why Lance has this front where he won't tell people why he's so upset, and it kind of bugs me to no end, because yeah, and it's just kind of like, boy, open up more, talk to people, trust me, you'll feel better. But it's like, oh, that poor boy, that poor boy. But all of that, but I'm glad that there seems to be more of developing with Lance, and I cannot wait to see what happens more in season 6. Also now, speaking of Shiro, I think we've gotten more evidence that this isn't Shiro. Like, there's so much evidence that has came to light where you're like, yeah, we do not have Shiro with us. Like, Hagar herself was basically like, start Operation Corone Stage 4, which was like, I was like, wait, Corone Operation 4, what's that? Like, I was worried, because when she said that line, it was when, obviously, that was obviously when Shiro, Matt, and Paige were together, so I was kind of like, is something gonna happen to Matt and Paige? Is Clone Shiro gonna do something? I am worried for everybody's safety, but nothing happened. So, from what I think maybe Corone Stage 4 is spying on them. I don't think Hagar has actually spied on them before. I'm not too exactly sure, but I don't think that is the case, because I feel like Corone Stage 4 might have been something like attacking. I think this is now Hagar has the ability to look through Shiro, which is like, okay, that's a thing, that's happening. But yeah, and also I feel like, even though I'm like, I do not trust Corone, I do not trust him as far as I can throw him, I do feel bad for him, I will not lie, I really do feel bad for him. It's obvious that Corone has no idea that he's a clone, like, at all. He thinks he is the real Shiro. He has all the memories and everything, so he's like, yeah, I am the real Shiro, but you can see him having doubts now, that the whole thing that he can't remember what happened, the fact that he says he doesn't feel like himself when he was talking to Lance, so yeah, that was a thing. So I think that the whole Corone, like, I thought that they'd maybe reveal Corone at the end of season 5, but I don't think so. It most likely will be season 6 when we learn about it, because now that we have Lance that's getting very suspicious of him, I think Lance is going to be the one to figure out, go on, hey, hold on a minute, this ain't Shiro. Like, where's the real Shiro? And hopefully, obviously all that. Now, let's talk about Keith. Keith. Again, Keith. He was like in 2 episodes, and then that's it. Again, really, DreamWorks. Like, he just like, he had his whole season, and now he's kind of just hardly there, and it's like, why is this a thing? Like, I really was hoping he'd come back to Voltron in season 5, but it didn't happen. But I kind of guessed that wasn't gonna happen. Maybe season 6. I've seen some interesting images from the Netflix image where we see Keith, and he has markings on his face, but he's also in paladin armor, so who knows? What I want to talk about when it comes to Keith is, oh my god guys, we have finally get to meet his mother. We finally get to meet Keith's mom. I don't know exactly how to pronounce her name. It's like Kova, something like that. It starts with a K, but oh my god. Like, as soon as Jenny and I were watching it and the picture came up of her, we were like, oh my god, hey Keith's mom, because they look so similar that it's kind of when you're like, yeah, you're related some way, shape, or form, and I'm gonna guess that that's your mother. And yes, I was very right. So yeah, that is the thing, and I'm a bit like if that they kind of like left it on a cliffhanger, like when, you know, when they've escaped the ship, like when they escaped, and like keeps asking her questions, like, why did you just like give up the secret weapon for me? Like, why would you do that? And then it's like, how could you use my dagger? And she's like, well, it used to be mine until I gave it to your father, who gave it to you. And then he's like, oh, you're my, and then the episode just ends. Like, why do we need to have that cliffhanger? It's obvious that that is his mom. Like, what else? You could have easily ended the episode with him saying, you're my mom. Instead, we're just like, you're my, and then it just cuts off, and it's like, why is that a thing? But yeah, this is gonna be really interesting when it comes to Keith's mom. I'm kind of worried about her. I ain't gonna lie. I'm really worried for her, because I feel like they're gonna kill her off, and I don't want them to. I want Keith to be happy because he finally found his mom, and he can learn more about his heritage and everything. And maybe we'll obviously learn about how she ended up on Earth. She may have had a thing about, maybe that's why the blue lion was there. But yeah, but I have a feeling that they might kill her off, and I don't want them to, because I want Keith to be happy that he has a mom. But I know what DreamWorks are like. They're going to introduce her this season and then kill her off next season or something. Please, DreamWorks, don't let the boy be happy. It's like, I'm really hoping that they don't like skip over the scene where like she meets all the other like paladins, because I want to see people's reactions, because I just want to see Lance being like, so mullet's running the family, huh? So yeah, I want to see lines like that, so I'm kind of hoping they will not skip over that. I mean, they didn't skip over meeting Matt, so why skip over meeting Keith's mom? So yeah, that's the thing, but I'm so worried for her. I am so worried for this woman. Like, she's just so pretty. She's, well, basically, yes, she's Keith with boobs, but I don't care, she's so pretty. But yeah, so also like the whole like thing that I saw, like the pictures that they had on Netflix where you see Keith and he has a marking like his mom. I'm just wondering, like, are they going to turn Keith into, like, is Keith getting a sort of Galra transformation here? Like, what's happening? But yeah, anywho. Alright, let's stop talking about Keith and let's get on to another person. Next I want to talk about Alora. Alora this season, at the moment, like, she went from not wanting to go near Lotor with a barge pole to being very close, like close, like, oh my god, close. They're kind of pushing this whole Lotor and Alora thing, which I'm not a big fan of, but like, I'll admit the ship is cute. It's just, I don't know, maybe it's just because I ship Alora, I don't know, but I don't know how I feel about it. But Alora definitely came into her own this season. Obviously, we got to learn more about the White Lion, which was great. The White Lion does not seem to be a trick like it was in the 80s, which is good. I was glad that that wasn't the case. And so basically it looks like Allura has this new magic now. And we also saw that maybe Lotor's true intentions. Who knows? Allura has all that, and I will say, like, with the whole interaction between Allura and Lotor, I will say a lot of people seem to think that the whole thing about like Lance's attitude towards Lotor is just because he's spending a lot of time with Allura, but I don't think that's fully the case. Like, it's canon that Lance has a crush on Allura. We all know this. But I think mainly this whole thing going on between Lotor and Allura is maybe a little jealousy, but I think there's something more going on. I think at this point, I think Lance is just worried about his friend. Him and Allura have become really, really good friends. Like, she's not trying to, she hardly ever looks really annoyed at him anymore, and they seem to be becoming really good friends. So I think honestly it comes from being very, just wanting to make sure that his friend is okay. And that could be like anything. Like, if one of my friends was seemed to get really close with someone like Lotor, I'd be like, excuse me, what? So I don't think it's complete jealousy. I think it's mainly just the fact that Lance cares about Allura. And that's, again, we see that he does, so it makes sense that he'd be concerned about her getting that close to Lotor. So I don't think it's a whole jealousy thing, but that's just my take on it. But, yeah, okay, so... But yeah, so also talking about the white line thing, we know that Allura now has this power, and we know that Lotor wasn't. I will have to say though, the whole Mark of the Chosen thing was so cute, the way that they, their wee little markings light up. Even freaking Lotor looked adorable with his little markings, and I was like, damn, you cute. But yeah, the Mark of the Chosen was really cool. And yeah, I just absolutely loved it, and I'm glad the white line did not end up being something evil created by Hagar, but we do know at the end that Hagar has realized that they found the place and wants to try and find it herself, but I doubt that she will have the markings, because as we know, not all Alteans would have it, because as we saw, Karan didn't get them, so obviously it's not something all Alteans can get. But yeah, oh my god, yes. Last thing I want to talk about basically is Hunk. I want to talk about Hunk because, again, Hunk didn't get any character development whatsoever. He hardly got any screen time whatsoever. The only things we really had a lot of Hunk in was obviously the scene with the fun robot, which I have to say the fun robot was amazing. I loved it so much. Honestly, that whole thing was just amazing to see Lance, Paige, and Hunk just all hanging out and just having fun and just getting into trouble. It's just oh, they're actually acting like teenagers. This is good. This is a good thing. But yeah, again, the fun robot. Oh my god, I love the fun robot. Later, Pella dudes. Honestly, yes. And I just love the fact that when the robot was launching into space, that Amazing Grace was being played, and I'm just like, what? This is amazing. Again, I just love that scene so much. But again, after all that, Hunk didn't get much, and I feel like that's a bit, I feel so bad for Hunk, and I'm so worried that we're not gonna get anything for Hunk at this point, because we're on season 5 and we do not know anything about Hunk whatsoever. We're not getting any development for him, and I am worried that he's just not gonna get any at all. And yeah, I don't know exactly how all you guys feel about it, but I'm sure a lot of you probably feel the same, that Hunk just doesn't get enough love, and I feel like that's just not fair to him, because because we don't know anything about him, it's what's going on? Can we learn something? What exactly are his thoughts on things? What's his backstory? Come on guys, come on DreamWorks, you can do it. Hope you enjoyed this video, guys, and tell me down below in the comments what your thoughts about this season was, and maybe some of your hopes for season 6. I will do a video on my predictions for season 6 a bit later, but yeah. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember to like and subscribe for more fandom content than you can shake a stick at, and see ya!